Right, now all that's done on that page, it's time to start on the next page, which is dashboard, steering wheel and steering arm column, mounting the dashboard in, and then the last bit of the roll cage before you start the body. Now with the steering wheel has got a decal on it. You've got that little linkage there, the arm linkage. I've painted that in gunmetal. Dashboard's all black, and this little screen, that's just black as well. No decal, which is a shame. And it doesn't tell you any colours to paint the dials or switches on. It's just said B, which is flat black. So here's my dashboard. Now what I've done is I've gone on to the Geom Authority website again and got a picture of the dashboard. And I've just painted on the vents with a bit of silver. Painted the centre dashboard outer detailing, just a bit of silver. And then with the knobs and switches, I've just put a bit of white paint on. So all I've got to do now is just paint on the relevant colours. Steering wheel, where's that? Yes, there it is. So there's your screen. Again, I've probably got to try and detail the best I can because there's no decals. There's the steering arm, which is in gunmetal, and the steering wheel, that's just in anthracite and gloss black. And then on the inside of the steering wheel, that's the decal. But there is some raised detailing on the steering wheel. I think it's for those of you who want to actually detail it by hand. But I've just used the decal, so I've smoothed that detailing down a bit, and the decal's gone on really, really well. So I've microset, microsole. All I've got to do now is seal. And that's going to look really, really good. And then I've just got to paint them colours on now, so that's it. So it's the second part of the roll cage, and on as it says on the page with the dashboard. So I've just got to do that now. Right, welcome back. I've now finished the interior construction. When I'd left you, I'd just mounted the seat, this side of the roll cage, done all the detailing on the dashboard. So now, going back to that page again, the dashboard, I detailed, put all them in. The steering column, that's got like a little half circle peg that mounts into the dashboard there. Sorry, you've got to put the screen in first, then put that in. The screen, I'd just like a little square peg, just push that into place. Then you push that into place, then you glue the steering wheel on. Steering wheel's got the same half circle peg that goes into the back of the steering wheel. So that's all done. Now here's where it gets a little complicated. It just says simply put it down onto that peg, that raised peg hole, with a peg underneath the dashboard into the centre console. No, you've actually got a square peg and peg hole on the dashboard mount, and you've also got to put this like what represents, I think it's a bit of guard mesh like on the NASCAR. That was quite difficult to get in as well. So, and then you've got the mounting of the left roll cage and the top of the roll cage, and then it says start the body. Right, so underneath here, this main console here with all the knobs and switches, is actually a peg that goes down into a raised hole that's on the centre console, about just underneath there. You've got to line that peg up. On the dashboard mount underneath the dashboard, there's actually a square raised hole peg, and then there's a square peg on the bottom of the dashboard. You've got to line that up as well. Quite difficult to do. I suggest if you've got a torch or a head torch that you can put on top of your head, you'll be able to do it better, and just drop your glue in once you've mounted it. Press your thumb down and then get your glue, or Tamiya extra thin, whatever. If you've got one of these with a nozzle, you get it underneath there and you get it on the center console there on that peg. Once you've done that, then it's time to mount the roll cage on the left side. It's a bit more difficult on this side. You've got to much like that side, you've got to mount those 2 pegs and peg holes there. You've got to manoeuvre it behind this panel. And then you've got to manoeuvre it down that channel into the peg holes there. I'd actually screwed up on that one. I actually put this left side roll cage into the lower hole. It actually goes in the upper hole. So I had to dig that out and re-glue the centre one in. Once you've done that, then you've got the centre piece of this roll cage, and it's like a triangular shape like that, and then down. It's like a spider web in a way. Right, so what you've got to do is you've got to mount those 2 triangular rods there into those pinholes there. So you've got to manoeuvre those into place. The middle's all loose, it just rests inside, and then you've got these 2 peg and pinholes there. You see that one there? So you've got to line them up. Then you've got to get the triangular section where it mounts into 2 rods. So you've got to get that in that little like triangle slot there, push that down, and then push them into the outer holes. And then once you've pushed all them together, just drop your glue there, 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 and there, and there, and just let it set. And to be honest, it was actually it was a bit difficult in parts, but not too bad. But a lot easier than the other roll cages on the other cars that I've had. And that's pretty much it. So, oh, and the netting, that was quite difficult. There's a square hole there and a square hole just below the top of the bucket seat, right in the centre. You've got to manoeuvre the bottom peg in first and then bring the top peg up. And then it just rests on a notch on the dashboard there. Just a little notch. And you just drop a glue there, drop a glue on the upper one, drop a glue on the lower one. But it is a bastard. You've got to do the bottom one first and then bring the top one up. It is a bit of a bitch, to be honest. But apart from that, not too bad. And then, like I said, you can probably just make out the steering wheel if I angle it properly. And the dashboard with the colours on. But I think that looks really, really nice. So that's the interior done. Now starts the bodywork. Right, now the interior's done, it's time to start work on the body shell. Now on the body you've got 2 holes, 1, 2 there for the doors. On the back of the doors there's like these 2 little raised pegs. Let me just get the angle right. There you go, you can probably just about see them. Do you remember on the unboxing video I was wondering how that was going to be filled in? There's your cap basically. So what you do, this little raised lip just above my finger there, that needs to be tucked underneath there. So what you do is so what you do is you put that underneath there like that, and then you bring it round, and that lip will lock underneath there, look. So, and then them pinholes, you just put a drop of glue in there. So I'll do that now. So I'll just get me Tamiya extra thin, put that through, put that through, put a bit there as well. And then you simply, again, just manoeuvre that lip underneath, bring it back, and then just push. And see how the, I don't know if I can get the angle right, but if you look there, the pinholes, the pins have actually come straight through. My only concern with that, I've got to probably push that in a bit more. You got that little gap there, so I'm probably going to have to maybe file that bit down there to meet the door. I don't know, we'll have to see. And then if I do the other side with my Tamiya extra thin, 1, 2, bit on the door. Again, getting that lip underneath. Manoeuvre that into place. And then just squeeze. You hear that noise? That's how it clicks in. Again, same again. I'm probably going to have to push that in a bit more. Or just like sand that down so it meets it. But that's easy. That's the easy thing about this bodywork. Just taps into place. Quite good, that is. Right, now the bonnet, I'm not going to glue the bonnet in just yet, because I've got to leave that because I'm going to do a different livery. You've got 4 raised pins, 2 on each side, and then just sit into them holes there, and that just drops on top like that. Simple as. So that's the first bit of body shell done. Not bad at all. Right, so I have now primed the body shell. So I masked off the inside because I want to keep that yellow. And then with the stickiness being here, I've basically taped the bonnet to the main body. Right, so you'll see there's a lot of masking tape on it. The reason for that, I'm not going to be building it to that livery on the box. So basically what I'm doing is I'm masking off the new base pattern. So if you remember from my Metal Gear Solid build a few years ago, if you follow my channel, I was using some 1mm masking tape to mask off the camo pattern. I've done the same for the Corvette. So I'm doing some jagged edges, and the top part of the jagged edge is grey. So I'm using the primer grey as my grey jagged edge, and then the rest of it's going to be black. So that front part of the fender well there, that's going to be black. All that round there, it's going to be black. These jagged edges here, those are going to be black all the way over the back of the fender well. Going round to the back, the whole part of the rear bumper and the rear of the car is going to be black, hence why I've done that bit of masking there, so that's all going to be black. All this there, that's all going to be black with those jagged edges. I've got the 2 sets of jagged edges on the roof, one on the rear here on the right side, and on the front on the middle to the left side, so that's all going to be black. I've just finished these off, so that them jagged edges will be black. So there's all my masking done. Everywhere else is going to be yellow, and I'm going to be using Tamiya TS16 yellow. So that's going to be my base coat. So all that there, that's going to be yellow. Bit on the front fender well here, that's going to be yellow. The bit area on the door here, that's going to be yellow, the top part. All this there, that's going to be yellow. Around the top here, where it meets the rear window, that's going to be yellow. That area there is going to be yellow, and onto the door, and then onto the front here, onto the fender well. That's all going to be yellow. What I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to get a bit of plastic, spray it in the grey, then the white on top of that, and then spray on the TS16, and then paint on the black by hand on top of that TS16. I'm just going to see how it's going to work out, because I'm hoping that my black satin will sit on that really, really nice. Because to be honest, I don't really want to be remasking all this off to meet the edges of the tape on the inside. That is, I mean, this has took me like 3 days with a couple of hours on each day after work. Probably about an hour after work every day, all this week. So, since New Year's Day actually, and it's Thursday now, so I've been doing this for 4 days, trying to get all this done. An hour after work, so... With that being said, like I said, I'm going to test it first with the white, then the yellow, and then we'll see what happens on the car itself. Do you think that I could do that on top of the yellow with the black? Just let me know in the comments below, please. Thank you very much. And that's where I'm sitting at the moment.